Uh, yeah. And I gotta listen to myself. I gotta turn the volume down on the thing.
Also, secondary question: how long is this gonna last?
Good
I
question.
figure our thing is by the time we get through everything in the initial episode, we're probably looking at an hour and a half to two. It's probably less than that though. I think it's easier for us to have it that way because this is gonna be a weekly thing. All right, Ed, can you hear me on Twitch?
Hold on. Let me. I just muted it.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Say something.
All right, I can hear you. It's probably gonna have a weird feedback just for a second. All right, I'm muting mine again.
I can hear you.
All right, say something, Mark. See if Ed can hear you on the Twitch.
Hey, how's it going? Check. What?
Yeah, you up here. I hear you.
All right, Daniel.
What?
Did he leave? Daniel.
What? Yeah, what?
Can you hear me, Ed?
Can I hear what?
I'm talking about, can Ed hear you?
Yeah, I can hear him. There's a gun box over here.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
One thing. Oh yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's a good opportunity, especially if we can do this weekly. If we could keep a schedule, but what I do like about it is it gives us the opportunity to all buy, new games and shit to try out more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like not just Division, but a little bit of everything.
Yep, like Red Dead 2. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get you back on there.
Nope.
I'm not playing Red Dead 2.
Yeah, fuck that game.
I'm not
that game.
doing
Yeah,
that.
fuck that shit.
Fuck that.
Red Dead 2.
Oh, fucking dare.
All right, so we're good. We're doing the sound check. So, I'll probably end up, going through trimming videos and stuff like that later. All right, keep this dude.
You said Red Dead 2.
Fucking dare.
Arguably the worst game that's come out in 2019.
Inarguably the best game. You know what I'm saying? You are crazy. This is crazy talk, man. Get out of here. All right, let me go. Let me go and get this intro thing on. All right. All right. Welcome to episode 1 of Gamerside Chat. Brand new podcast where we talk a lot while playing games. A lot, of course. This is a mature podcast, so anyone who's 18 years or older, well, we're not very mature, but our language is. So anyone who's 18 and under may not want to listen to this podcast, parental discretion is advised, yada, yada, yada. Basically, that's the long version of be cursed at times, normal parlance. So, if you're fine with that, keep listening. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. Hope you're safe and enjoy what's going on. Since this is episode 1, we're going to, kind of talk about, brief introductions. We don't know y'all, so we're not going to tell you a whole lot about us, but that's fine. I am host number 1, Lex. I'm a Leo, and no, I'm just kidding.
What the fuck?
But, very, very personality. You hear my voice a lot of times with myself and 3 others, sometimes 1. Rarely solo, because talking to yourself, even on the podcast, feels weird. So, next up, we have Ed. Ed, tell people whatever you want to tell them.
All right. My name is Ed. I hate just about everything. Probably including, whoever's listened to this. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Oh yeah. I tend to curse a lot, so I mean, if you don't like that, then fuck off. That's about it on that one. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. D, you next. Go ahead and let the folks know about yourself.
What up? D Wade. I'm into hip hop. Goofy, I guess. Lex described me as dramatic one time. Sometimes about that.
Very dramatic.
It was true. As you guys will find out.
I work on airplanes and jet engines.
Hey, great. Don't tell too much because we don't want to get doxxed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Now they're gonna go right here.
Right.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Mark. Let people know what you want them to know.
Alright, hey guys, this is Mark. I'm Pretty much, I am gay and I make tacos. But you know what? It's a great life. Damn, I don't even know if I should say what. I don't even know if I should say what I play. That's weird. But yeah, I also play rugby, and that's
you do
awesome.
play rugby.
So it's cool.
Yeah, you do play rugby.
You used to make bread, but now you said F bread. I'm gonna make tacos.
Yeah, I did used to make bread, but now it's tacos, which is true. So
Listen,
hey, here we are.
That is a great upgrade. I don't care what no one says. Bread to tacos, you are coming up.
You know what? There's some cultural learning in that whole situation. Definitely forced me to learn some Spanish. I work with a probably 50-plus-year-old Peruvian man, and I'm certain this man thinks I'm a complete idiot. So I feel very confident.
I jumped in an Outcast box. My bad.
Absolute fucking idiot. What?
Sorry.
You beat it. I think we're all close enough to be fine.
Yeah. We're all playing Division 2 right now. I don't know if that's been said, but
no, I don't think so.
Granted, you guys are joining us on Twitch, so it's going to tell you what game we're playing. You know, we play this often, but we're going to be playing other games as well. You missed out on this guy's playing Remnant. You know, we loved it and hated it. We cursed a whole lot. We probably couldn't try to podcast at the same time because the game was very, very frustrating. You know, so, and we'll probably never play it again.
Yeah, I mean, we beat it though. We finished.
That's why I didn't buy it. That's why I didn't buy it.
Well, it was only 3-player co-op anyway, so
which is weird. Everything should be a minimum of 4. You know, I'm gonna try not to go too far on a rant, but Far Cry series should be 4 players.
Right.
If not, I am always disappointed that there isn't. But, you know, for some of you guys that probably doesn't mean anything, but listen, if you ever play Far Cry, you know how fun it is with 2 people. It should be 4. Alright. Now with that said,
maybe one day Ubisoft will get it right.
Maybe, because a few of their games are 4.
Scream at them, Ed.
Oh, I do. All the time.
I think the Far Cry team doesn't listen to the complaints like the Division team, you know.
Yeah. You complain enough on Division, something will get done.
I think the last Far Cry I played was the one where the family was selling drugs and lies.
Was that 4?
Oh, 5, Far Cry 5.
5?
Yeah, that's the last one I went to.
Yeah. And New Dawn was
I enjoyed 5 though.
Yeah, 5 was good. 5 was good. But yeah, if you guys haven't been able to tell so far by the sounds of voices, or you know, there's no stereotypical things yet. We're all black, and so there are gonna be things we're talking about black-centric things, black-centric topics. We're going to say nigga a lot. We're not going to apologize for it. And no, if you're not black, you can't say it either. I don't care. No one tells you. If you choose to, you know, we do honor free speech, but freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. So if someone sees you saying it and they feel like you're not supposed to, hey.
Yeah, please don't tell them I said it was okay because...
yeah, you're done, son.
Absolutely.
You're done, son.
I don't even... I barely say it myself, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't really say it a lot.
I say it.
You know what, though?
I don't find myself saying it a lot. I don't say it that often.
I say it quite frequently with my brother. Like, quite frequently. Almost like it's a water word.
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a code switch kind of thing.
I say it often, however, it's almost always with intent. No, that's a lie. It's not with intent. But I say it often at times, but not gratuitously, I think. But, you know, what's gratuitous when it comes to, you know, I might be on fire. Damn it, Ed. Anybody up there? I got you.
yeah, I'm up.
I guess I'm down here. Keep holding it the fuck out. Shit.
Alright.
Alright.
So, the purpose behind this podcast, you know, especially us, you know, shooting the shit while shooting shit, you know, and, it's gonna happen a lot. We play a lot of games like this. It's always fun. We're gonna talk about various things, stuff we like, you know, stuff that's gonna affect us. You know, we'll talk about politics at times. Like today, we're gonna discuss some political items, but we're not a political podcast. It's really just our opinions and, you know, based on things that's gonna affect us, whether it's state, local, federal, yada yada. People who may be local to this area, we're all of us within the Carolinas. Not gonna tell you where because it's none of your business. But
well, there's only 2, so
hey, they're pretty big states. They're pretty big states.
I mean, I stay in California. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the Bay Area. You know,
California, Carolina.
Fresno, Carolina. Yeah, it's great.
Oops.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about.
Hey, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, you do it.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting up here. I got fucked up.
Oh shit. Alright, well.
Fuck him up.
Yes.
Yep, there we go. Alright, knew that was gonna happen.
Okay,
Actually,
I can actually be revived in a safe location. I can be revived in a very safe location.
Nah, they're coming back. Hold on.
Okay, well, I tried my best.
Yeah, quickly revive because that flame was coming this way.
Revive me now.
Alright.
Damn it.
I tried my best. My bed wasn't good enough.
But like I said, we'll talk about various things like political, at times, current events and stuff like that. I like to think most of us are believing in intersectionality. Which, for the people who don't know, intersectionality is basically going to be, we believe that there's importance for, we respect the rights of a lot of people, and we understand that not everyone's in the same group, and some groups overlap. Intersections. For example, Mark is both a black man, but he's also gay. So that's, kind of two somewhat minority groups, and you have to take consideration for rights and things. And we support those rights and stuff for pretty much all people. Regardless of your race, your gender identity, whether you're cisgender, transgender, things like that, or gender non-binary. And as long as what you're doing is not making mistakes, what other people are doing in their rights, you're good with us. But if you do things that are, essentially if you're like a bigot or something like that, you're probably not going to like this podcast too much because we don't really know that.
Will not enjoy this.
Yeah.
I'm going to love it, you guys. This is going to be totes fast.
But speaking of politics, like I said, 2020 election is going on right now. Certain people have dropped out. I believe, I can't remember his name. Was it Kane or something like that? I can't remember his name, but he was, I think Trump's challenger may have dropped out, or maybe just one. I can't remember now. But everybody, no one cares about that because he's the incumbent. It's almost never seen for an incumbent to lose their party's nomination, as far as I know. So, it's the Democrat side. That's the more interesting one right now. Because look, the Democratic side has so many candidates, but they're dropping out.
Is it true? I mean, I don't really know a lot about politics, but is it true that the Democrats are rallying like this because there's a Republican president in office, and the Republicans are going to back the current president in office as opposed to running against him?
To an extent, because what happens is the incumbent almost always unified by the party. A lot of times what will happen is every once in a while you'll get an independent or a Republican. I believe when George H.W. Bush was trying to win a second term and he was going up against Clinton, during their primaries, and I could be wrong, I want to say I'm right, but in their primaries, there was a challenger that separated enough of the votes to where it separated enough of the Republican constituencies, their votes and things, where it hurt George H.W.'s chances when it came to the presidential election. So he lost the Clinton. But typically, whoever the president is, if they're eligible for re-election, you're not going to see but so many candidates. Like, for Obama, he was at the end of the second term. That's why you had a bunch of Republicans and a bunch of Democrats and some independents.
Right, and that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, when the incumbent's pretty much in place and they're going up for a re-election, unless the party hates them, essentially, you're rarely going to see any challenger. But like Trump has one. I think he may have had two, but I know he had at least one. But on the Democrat side, there are people that drop out, mostly because of money. Some people were long shots and stuff. Yang is pretty much, even though he was kind of a long shot in a lot of ways. His money got funny. Kamala Harris, same thing. Booker, same thing. Julian Castro as well. Because it's needlessly expensive to run for president.
Right.
you have people like Bloomberg who people gonna feel like don't have a snowball chance in hell, but he I'm down.
He's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire, so he can continue to finance his campaign or any PAC to handle his campaign without even a ton of donations. You know, like for example, that fire is crazy. But, for example, you know the Clinton Foundation, Clinton administration, you know, with Hillary, she was never going to be in danger of losing money unless she lost all of her donors. But you know, their campaign didn't have a trouble with funding.
Everybody's dead.
In the same spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to come to you right now. It's because the big ass dude, the Hammer, I think, just came in. We all ran in there. We should have done that.
Yeah, we should have hung back. But you know, now, like I said, Bloomberg is still in there. Yang is out. I think, what's the guy's name? Is it Steyer? There's another billionaire guy who's in there. And
hey, wait, I'm kind of back here. You might be able to help me up.
Yeah, I'm about to die. Don't worry about it.
We down. We all down.
Right.
Wipe.
Fail.
But like I said, looking at when it comes to the Democratic nominees, there's so many of them, and depending on how much you guys pay into politics, you have your Amy Klobuchar and Sanders, Warren, Klobuchar.
Hey guys, don't forget, we can't kill the guy. We got to show his stack first.
Oh yeah, shoot his backpack first. It's on his hip. Yeah. It's pretty easy. But yeah, so with all the different nominees, like who do you guys think is going to win? I kind of have my opinion, but who do you think is going to end up getting it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, because with the race, they said this was like one of the most diverse, candidate show up, whatever the fuck. Because we had Asians, blacks, whites, all that. But, it breaks down to now, we're down to all, all white people, which is, I guess to be expected. But then after that breaks down, I mean, that's like, if you can't accept, like an Asian president or a black president, I don't think people are going to be willing to accept a woman president either. So that's what, like, realistically.
Or a gay president.
Or a gay president as well.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, it's up in the air to me. But I mean, I know that it's going to be a white male that wins the
I feel like
the election.
His base right now. And his base isn't going to elect anyone gay or female.
No.
So yeah, it would have.
But that's what's like the way it's breaking down. Of course, you get the diversity is completely gone now. Andrew Yang dropped out. He's the last person in there. Cory Booker, Kamala Harris. And that's why I was like, the only people you really have are, Bloomberg has a chance because he's a billionaire. Trump, people thought Trump had a 0% chance to fucking do it. But because he had the money and the wealth or whatever, clearly 3 years later, he fucking did it. I still don't know how the fuck that happens, but, whatever.
The thing
clearly elections can be bought.
The thing is, politics are overly influenced by money, and I kind of feel like, Bloomberg has a chance, but he already said, whoever, if he doesn't get it...
Was that the boss?
I forgot the fire comes up here. Whoever has the... Are you down again? Come back here with it. Never mind. Yeah, come back here. Whoever gets the nomination, if it's not him, he's basically going to support and find
it's not the owl. It's the complement. Complement's supposed to be the dude we got to get.
Yeah.
Don't you come to the hammer this way. But the thing with Bloomberg and stuff, he just has the money to stay in it and kind of be a spoiler in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think he's going to have a chance to get it because there are enough people who remember that Bloomberg up until a few years ago he was a Republican. And a lot of people are riding on Elizabeth Warren for that as well.
I'm down.
Kind of switching parties. So I don't know how that's going to stick against him in a way. But Bloomberg has a lot of people who don't care for him because of his time as mayor in New York. For example,
right.
Didn't he do the stop and frisk? Wasn't he responsible?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. And I've seen people from both sides. Oh, he's a racist, or he's not a racist because blah blah blah. The thing is, I say at best, Bloomberg is an authoritarian, which is something you don't want. Democracy does not need any type of authoritarian because the stop and frisk, even if you believe it wasn't racist, regardless of that, it negatively affected black and brown communities in New York. The thing is with
Hey, wait, back
with that policy, it violated people's rights. Period. So regardless of race, it would have violated anyone's rights because your due process is essentially gone. Because
there you go. It's the guy. Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
Yeah, because of that, everything from broken window policing to the stop and frisk, it was pretty much, don't worry about these people's rights. Just go ahead and, stop them on the street. And what is it? 70% of people stop and frisk were never, weren't actually guilty of anything or convicted of anything.
Yeah, where's this pack at, man?
It's like on
his hip. I can see it.
It's not like he's even wearing it.
It's on his hip.
Oh, so it's behind him.
Yeah.
That's why.
Boom.
I got it. I just blew it up. Don't kill him yet, though.
Why
Try
not?
to kill everybody else first.
Okay.
I mean, you can't. Just wait for it to finish doing whatever it's doing.
Oh, yeah, I see. But, the thing about Bloomberg, like I said, the fact that he's an authoritarian, it should bother a lot of people. Like, that's not the kind of thing you want for a president, like, that kind of thing at all. But, yeah, I feel like he has a chance, but not the biggest chance. I kind of feel like Biden... Nah, these guys, what's up on the screen? I think Biden's going to be... He's the most comfortable vote because people know him. He has the Obama ticket, essentially, because he was with Obama for years. And
I thought somebody said that Obama... I don't know if it's true, but somebody said Obama endorsed Mike Bloomberg.
Oh no, he wouldn't openly endorse anybody right now, especially Bloomberg. A number of things that Bloomberg did for his policies in New York were kind of counter to some of Obama's domestic policy. It'll be weird, and plus, I don't think Obama's going to endorse anybody until they get the nomination. Of course, Like Obama, one thing is Obama, he's more of a centrist, and he plays it pretty straight and fairly safe in a lot of ways. I don't think he's going to come out and endorse anybody right now, unless it comes down to maybe a couple people. But no, I really think Biden's going to end up getting it. I think Sanders is going to run into the same thing he ran in 2016. I feel like Warren, the fact that she's a woman,
too far to the left. You think you think Sanders too far to the left?
Absolutely, he's too far left. And I know my personal problem with Sanders is he has, and hopefully none of the Bernie supporters come at me for this, but I feel like he sells wolf tickets. He has some good ideas, but some of them are super far left and unrealistic, and he doesn't always promote plans on how he's going to do it.
So I mean, in saying that, what did you think about Yang's idea?
Yang is kind of in a similar way, except he probably has some more, I won't say thought out, but he was more descriptive about some of his plans. But I feel like a lot of his stuff was still on that bit of a socialist type slant and was running through similar things that Bernie would have had issues with.
But that's also like for the reasons he came up with the idea of the plan or whatever, because I don't know if it's true or not, but in the article I read he said like 72% of people from 18 to 32 were on board, and then like another 60% of people I forgot what which part of the hell they were on board with the idea as well. But that's always like, is automation it's always going to be moving forward or whatever, but is it something that the American people should be worried about?
I feel like automation,
as in job wise, and stuff, because I feel like the base of America, the average citizen probably is a labor worker or something like that.
Yeah, there are a ton of labor workers.
I don't know, that necessarily.
I do think automation is going to be, an issue. It's going to be a factor when it comes to people looking for jobs and things. Because, there's going to be a number of quote-unquote unskilled, I kind of hate that term, but unskilled labor positions that's going to be going to automation. Right. But it happened in the auto industry, and the biggest thing that hurt the auto industry wasn't automation, it was, labor being sent overseas, as far as the U.S. thing. The biggest thing I would say with automation is I feel like automation is going to create new jobs in areas. Until you can have any type of working robots or machines that have certain type of fine skills and can do multiple tasks like humans do, because with automation, one machine may take away a handful of people's jobs on a production line, but it creates one or two new jobs for the people who have to maintain those machines.
Right.
So until the automated machines become self-sufficient in that way where they can repair themselves or one compared to the other and vice versa, there's always going to be a chain of where there's going to have to be human intervention and human interaction somewhere at some point. But I think one of the things I like about, I won't say Yang's idea because he wasn't the person who came up with the idea, but the idea of a universal income, that in and of itself, depending on, where automation goes, could become a particular factor sometime in the future.
So my other question is, like, if we still had like Andrew Yang and Kamala Harris and Cory Booker in there, in the running or whatever, who do you think you would vote for? Like, if they actually made it to it.
Out of those, I don't know, because the thing is,
I mean, and being that we discussed earlier how blacks, I feel like black people are kind of into like Asian cultures, and that like I said before, I feel like Asians are into black culture. They don't necessarily like black people. So
yeah, well, the thing is, black culture is a commodity.
Right.
Because it has that ties to hip hop, which is undeniable. Fashion and certain things, basically the element of being cool in a way, that's commoditized. And I mean, people, that was almost created, commoditized without our help, because we, as black people, kind of, created stuff and push it in the United States, but then it was essentially shipped overseas by people who had nothing to do with it. The production companies and stuff who broadcast movies and TV shows and music, help spread that stuff, and it's the cool thing. So, and like you said, Yang used it. The actress Awkwafina, she's often accused of black sinning or whatever, which I don't know how valid that is. But you can always definitely.
Is that a term that we coin now? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing when people are talking about the use of the African American vernacular English, that kind of stuff. When they say black saying, instead of it used to be speaking in Ebonics, but
let me kill this guy with this shield.
Yeah, the thing is, when they're talking about speaking in Ebonics and stuff like that, that's kind of the new way of saying, instead of just saying talking black, it's more or less saying black saying. They're kind of the same thing. Because but at the same time, talking black, talking white, all that sort, those are all misnomers anyway.
Okay, so on the game, what are we going to do next if we can't do the DARPA mission? I would like to do the DARPA mission to see if Mark could get in there.
We could try
if we could. Or we can do some bounties and stuff so that you guys can complete the... because Wade needs to complete his shield bash and all that stuff. He needs to complete his stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to salute 3 burning enemies before killing them. And...
Yeah. I did that with a turret. That definitely helped. But if you want to do that, and I'll kind of use a flamethrower here and there.
Alright, so you want to try the DARPA mission first, or do you want to try the bounties?
See if, and then you have to shoot them immediately after. See if, Mark, see if you can go to the Pentagon Library, if it'll let you fast travel to that safe house.
Woo! Alright, let's do it.
Let me kill these people with my shield real quick.
Yeah. But as far as what we were talking about, I kind of feel like out of those, I don't know, because Cory Booker, I don't know his politics a whole lot, but a lot what I get from him is I don't know what he really believes, or I guess his leanings in certain ways. Certain things he kind of kept close to the chest. I feel like he was trying to be a people pleaser in a lot of ways. But it was nothing that ever really struck me. And on the flip side, Kamala Harris, people all think, Kamala, blah, 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 which I always thought was stupid, because, she's an attorney and you want people to be knowledgeable about this kind of things. I feel like her strength is, she would be a great AG, U.S. Attorney General, because personally, I feel like any person running, and this is going to affect how I feel about Mayor Pete. Any person who's running for president should have to have had federal political service already. You should have had to be a governor or a senator or a representative in the House.
Something.
Like Trump had 0 political experience outside of anything that affected his. Oh shit! I'm about to go down too.
What are we doing? What are we doing right here?
I'm trying to kill people with my shield. Leave them alive. Leave them
alive.
All right,
go ahead. But
I got you, Mark.
You had like I said, Trump had basically no experience.
I hit it with my shield and he turned into dust.
Hit that person next. Yeah, you had like I said, Trump with no experience. You had Mayor Pete. My issue with him is that he has no experience. You know, he couldn't even run 200-something thousand person town in Indiana without controversy. You know, like his handling of stuff with the police department was pretty bad. You know, there's like a whole lot of stuff with that, and I also feel like Pete's problem is going to be he's gay, so people are going to be like, oh, never get president. I've already seen, you know, some people say, oh, I didn't even know he was gay. I can't vote for him now, even if they agree with him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
exactly.
people said Obama wouldn't be president because he was black, but you know,
but it's easier to convince. It's easier to convince people to vote for a black person than it is to vote for a woman.
Well, the thing is, like, one, you know, the way I feel, like, you know, Obama was, you know, he was just dark enough for black people to get with him, and he was light enough for white people to like him. But also saying that Obama had to be perfect for people to vote for him. That's what I was like. He couldn't go out here and do all this shit that Trump's doing. I was like, he can't go out here and and Twitter about all this other bullshit. It wasn't, but the thing is, like, Obama had to be 100 times better than a Donald Trump to be able to be voted into office. Exactly. Exactly.
All right, wait, Dave. But because think about, I'll just use somebody like, you know, Byron Allen. Byron Allen has no political experience, and he also really doesn't have any scandals either. But for the fact he has no experience, if he was running, he wouldn't be able to get in. People are like, oh, is Byron with zero experience? Absolutely not.
Byron Allen, as in Byron Allen Entertainment, Byron Allen?
Yes, the one who's fighting with Comcast right now.
I'm voting for him.
Well, he's not running, Mark. Come on. But
thank God.
Like Ed said, you know, Obama was a career politician. He was a lawyer. You know, Ivy School scholar. You know, scandal-free, traditional American family. You know, him, his wife, his 2 daughters, his dog. You know, he had to hit all those buttons and stuff, and you know, a lot of people like Trump just didn't have to. You know, he had to be perfect in that way. And
he had to be perfect at all. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah,
he didn't even have to be qualified. That's what's crazy about it. That's what's like. I feel like Donald Trump wouldn't be. You know, they wouldn't allow him to be president. You know, at Apple. But you know, he's allowed to be president.
Dude, he couldn't be. He wouldn't be allowed to be a district manager for a fast food chain
at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's what's so crazy about it. And he's able to take the highest office in the country because he's wealthy, not rich. He's wealthy.
And that's another reason why I hate when people would bring up like Oprah and other people. I'm like, no, stop recommending famous people with no political experience because they have money. Honestly, a rich person is the last person you want to run a democracy.
Yeah.
It is, because they can have the best intentions socially in a lot of ways, but fiscally they're going to do things that make sure that benefits them, their own family, and their friends.
Right.
It's going to happen all the time.
It's just funny because Trump's base really thought that he was going to be out there fighting for them or something. Like their lives are going to be better because he was in office. That's what like Dave Chappelle said at the best. He was like, he's not fighting for you. He's fighting for me.
He's fighting for me.
He's fighting for the rich people.
Yeah.
You know, the upper 1%. That's what's crazy about it.
And I just didn't understand that in a way because, well, it didn't make a lot of sense. But the thing with Trump is that one thing Trump has is charisma. He has enough charisma, and he also doesn't care what is said. So he says what he feels like people want to hear because he's a salesman. He's a consummate salesman, and the fact that he was able to sell himself to people, even though he had no experience. Like, the one silver lining, I would say, as far as the whole president election that came with Trump, and this is not speaking on his policies or anything like that, but the silver lining that came from this whole thing was you can't tell any little kid growing up who says they want to be president that they can't, because a person who had no reason to be in federal, national political office was there at the highest level. Someone who never served at the lowest level was there at the highest level. Leapfrog the entire system. You can't tell these kids that they can't do that now. You know?
Right. I'm trying to fast travel to the Pentagon Library. I'm trying to see if Mark can get in it. I think he did. He did ready up. Yeah, okay. But Wade's the only person that we're missing, I guess. Yeah. He'll be pulled over, I guess, once you start the mission.
Yeah. But little Timmy, yeah, you're pretty good at this stuff, but you're not very small. So you're gonna be president. Like you're not even interested in politics. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think going back to as far as who's going to be before, I think it's going to be Biden because honestly, I'm a person I'm unaffiliated. You know, I'm an issues voter. I'm not a party voter. I think being a party voter is
We have
stupid.
a situation.
The
This
thing
is
about
from
being
a
a
few
strict
days
party
ago.
voter, this Pentagon, right?
Black
Yeah.
Tusk.
Yeah. The thing about being a strict party voter is that the party itself, the way the party operates, Democrat and Republican, and other ones like Green Party, Libertarian, whatever, they operate for their own interests and certain platforms, but not all
Can we take
members
a look at the
always are on those
surveillance footage she
platforms. So just
transmitted?
because someone's a Republican, if you're in the Republican Party as far as a voter, and you may
Got a
have someone who's
guess?
Republican,
The DARPA
someone
labs
like
in the
Rand
sublevels.
Paul,
There
or
are all
who's
kinds
I
of
think he's a
Defense
libertarian
Department
now, or
prototypes
even
down there. This can only be bad
before
news. The question
what am I
is,
thinking of? Like a
how
Dick
bad?
Cheney and a Donald Trump's
We
politics are
need to
really
know.
different in a number
Which
of
is where you
ways,
come in, Agent.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And even on the Democrat side, think about Ocasio-Cortez, Omar, those two, and Warren. Their politics are very different within the spectrum of their parties, but they're pretty different. So,
Mm-hmm.
like being an issues voter in a way, I was more attracted to, I would say, Julian Castro. A lot of stuff I kind of believe were where he was covering more of those bases in a lot of ways. Warren, to an extent, but I feel like her policies go a little too far in certain areas.
Okay.
Some are unrealistic, some are realistic, but there are some things she does I support. But like we were talking about it, they're talking about student loan forgiveness, and hopefully this will make a lot of people mad. I don't think student loans should be forgiven in mass. They should be for. They need to concentrate on getting these. One, defaulters people who default on loans basically voluntarily need to be made to pay. Because there are people who will go and get loans and then stack on top of that, go buy a house and do other things and just stop not pay their
Or
loans, even
make a
though
hip hop album, stuff
make
like
make a
that.
mixtape or whatever, but
Yeah.
they'll do that instead of paying their loans, even though they have a decent paying job. So the people who are making okay money trying to pay the loans are being hit with these higher interest rates because so many people are defaulting.
Yep.
So if you get these people who are paying like they're supposed to, that'll help. But get the interest rates under control because, without giving your figures out, you're talking about your student loans where your interest payment is way higher than your principal per month, and that's insane. That's insane, and you're paying like you're supposed to.
And I'm paying on them, and they made it to where it's pretty much impossible to pay these in a reasonable amount of time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, that's where, on the other side, because I read articles like, people are trying to find illegal ways to make money to pay their student loans. I read an article where a guy, he was trying to traffic drugs in so that he can make money to pay off his student loans.
Yeah.
I literally just suggested that an hour ago.
Mark, are you in here? I don't see you.
Well, I walked outside to have a smoke, and so now it's showing me a cutscene, and I'm watching it. So here we are.
Sweet.
Well, I'm in the safe house right now. I'm trying to put some of this stuff in my stash very quick.
Yeah, I'm right next to you. But I think
I need to burn 3 people and then salute them. So I'm like out here.
On the game, make sure you're talking about the game because that's a horrible thing to say in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like we said a lot of. I feel like we've. That's gonna happen.
Shoot that guy! Shoot him!
Yeah.
Let him have it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But one thing I will say is, politically speaking, I kind of feel like me personally, I'm in a weird space as far as the way that people are adhering too much to party lines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Democratic candidates, they're really pushing these things as far as certain policies that align with their parties, but you kind of lose people with that. I kind of feel like they're reacting to the internet and media hype a lot with a lot of things. But perfect example. 3 out of the 4 of us are gun owners. And
what?
Gun owners. Gun owners.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We own guns. But a lot of our belief system align with, independent or political parties. Currently, almost every you got killed. Almost every candidate for the Democrat nomination is putting up certain things with, gun control. So, hold on, guys. Give me 1 second.
We'll just fix this in editing. It's fine.
Sorry about that. All right. But like I was saying, for example, Beto O'Rourke, when he was still in the race, he made it clear he was like, "Oh, we're coming to take your guns." And other ones are talking about policies to ban certain things, banning assault rifles, assault weapons, which it bothers me that people running for political office are using media hype and buzzwords instead of actual terms. Like an assault weapon is anything is an assault weapon if it's used to attack people at the time. That's an assault weapon.
Okay.
Shotgun pistol and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, they're using it specifically to describe a certain type of gun, a semi-automatic weapon, being used because they tend to look like, the select fire version that the military uses.
But why do you have to have any type of rifle at all? I mean, I don't understand. I'm not going to be more dead from a rifle bullet than from a handgun bullet.
Well, honestly, and not to make it morbid turn or anything like that, but most people in this country are more likely to encounter an injury from a handgun than a rifle in the first place. It's because of the mass shootings and stuff that happen, which are terrible. I'm not trying to downplay them, but the thing is, like with a different rifle, they're jumping on what's considered the popular rifle at the time, and especially the AR-15 is considered one of the most popular rifles, and there are a lot of them that are being sold, but they're looking at the cosmetic parts. They're saying, okay, this if it has a black stock or these big black scary guns that have all these attachment points and stuff like that, these tactical looking weapons that barely affect the functionality of them, are being legislated in a lot of ways. Where if you take something like a Ruger Mini 14, which is basically no pistol grip, has a wooden stock, fires the same round, they never even talk about that kind of thing, Or shotguns, for example, aren't really talked about as much.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I accidentally switched mics. I'm not trying to go to my screen. Okay. Never mind.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But the thing is, having there's definitely should be a discussion on gun control and legislation in this country, but just like with a lot of political subjects, people jump to the hype part of it right now. What's the most popular thing right now? What's the most wealthy? What's on people's minds right now? Instead of looking at it in a broad spectrum, like they're all jumping to certain things. Where if you think about it, and not saying they should go target handguns, but the vast majority of things that poses a danger to a lot of us are handguns, more so than a rifle.
Right. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to own a handgun. I'm definitely not saying that. I mean, I've definitely thought more so now to have my concealed weapons permit, but I don't have a viable reason to have anything that is more capacity than a handgun. I'm not saying there's certain handguns that can't absolutely destroy things, but there's just, I mean...
Well, I guess when you mention capacity, what are your concerns when it comes to rifles?
Come to the mission? Okay.
I'm in a cutscene for some reason. Again, the same cutscene as before. But I guess, Mark, what are your concerns when it comes to like rifles and stuff like that? More that weren't raised by, say, well, no, don't let me qualify or add conditions.
And don't get me wrong, I do believe. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have rifles as far as hunting. Absolutely, I'm not anti-hunting. I definitely believe in hunting. I mean, I cook food, and sometimes I want a deer, and they're delicious. That's what it is. Gamey, whatever. Get them in sausage, it'll work out. But I just don't. Do you really need an AR-15? I mean, to go hunting do you really need that? Is
I
that
mean,
necessary?
well, the thing is that the thing about the AR rifle, that sporting rifle, is if you take it in consideration, the rifle itself, I mean, it has uses in hunting and stuff like that, but a lot of it is, the the parts of the rifle that people are concentrating on really have nothing to do with, its danger of hunting. For example, a standard 30-06 bolt action rifle can have the same number of rounds, but its round is actually much larger. The thing is, and honestly, the AR-15 is kind of not a great round for hunting in the first place, because it's an intermediate, the 5.56 is an intermediate cartridge that you want something larger for stuff like deer and hog anyway. But it has its uses in, which may be overkill in some ways, but, home defense. For example, there was a person who used their AR-15 for home defense when unfortunately they were teenagers, but 3 armed assailants ran up in their house while they were there in a wait, and he used them to fight them off. Unfortunately, people lost their lives, granted as a result of their own decisions, but all 3 of these young men could have killed this guy and his family because they were doing a home invasion. And he was fighting 3 armed assailants with his rifle.
Did he really need a rifle to fight 3 armed assailants? That's my question.
Because
yeah. Well,
I mean, honestly, you have three people with handguns, with handgun cartridges, where you almost know you can potentially take down someone with the rifle round faster and from a particular distance compared to with a handgun. Another example is I have a 12 gauge shotgun in my. Someone may think that's overkill for self-defense. It shoots a slug that's much larger than that rifle round. It won't go as far, but it hits a way more force, and it will do way more damage. But
I wouldn't argue to not have that for self-defense. I just think the thing that just concerns me as I'm sitting here playing this with all of us is that how easily available are any of these guns in these games, at least as far as America is concerned.
Most of these guns on here are unavailable because one thing, and this is one thing I will criticize the media for, a rifle that fires automatic rounds, they're prohibitively expensive. If they're made made after a certain year, they can't even be owned by private citizens regardless how much money you have. And you have to have a certain type of federally provided FFL3 license to have it in the first place. So, like, for example, what I'm using, this light machine that I'm using on the game right now, I could be a millionaire. There's no way I could own this in this country, in the United States.
Nope, that is illegal.
It's completely illegal.
Even the gun shop, they only own one fully automatic weapon. Right. They sell weapons.
And it's all, and they can't sell it, and they can only transfer it amongst themselves or someone with a certain type of license that you have to be a person who sells them to even have. We talked to the people at Pro Shots, for example, when they had their full auto day. We talked to them, and they said it took them a very long time just to set up that full auto day. And most of those guns were all made before the 90s. Because
and then how much is right, that's what it is. Because you can own a Tommy gun or something like that. Well, doesn't the gun have to be like over 20 years older or like a certain age or something like that?
It could. I think it couldn't have been made before like 1980 something, like 85 or something like that.
And then how much was that to even buy that? It was like $50,000 or something like that.
It was very expensive.
Incredible, that's like the average person is not gonna be able to afford something like that.
Yeah.
Now saying that the average person can make their own automatic weapon for, like probably like $1, $1 or something, because all it is I'm not gonna say it. But
that's the problem.
It's also a felony. So if you're even in possession of it,
right? But the fact that even if it's a felony, that doesn't take away the fact that
somebody's going to do it.
Yeah, that someone has the ability to do so. That's the thing, and I think that's the thing that we really need to think about. Like, why do we even have the ability to do it when we know full and well they are DR. I wouldn't even
But
say
I feel like
DR.
even like with the gun safety thing, I think it's a much deeper issue. I think it's a societal issue because I think it's like even like with KRS-One when he used to say it's not the gun that killed the person, it's the consciousness behind the gun. You see what I'm saying? Like I was like we're losing sight of what is actually the problem, and that's society itself. Not just the weapons, society itself. I mean, weapons have been around forever, but I mean, people haven't gone around murdering people just because they possess them. So that's why I was like, you have to take a deeper look at what's really wrong.
Yeah, I feel like at some point we kind of have I don't know if I want to say the internet kind of does this, whatever, but I feel like there's a dehumanization of people in a way.
Oh, it definitely is, especially in this day and age. Yes.
I feel like people don't value human life the same way they used to. Especially, when, for example, someone like that guy who, I can't remember where it happened, but these people were playing some game online, and one of them guys thought it would be cute to send a SWAT team to his house. Because they were playing a stupid game. Like, he clearly didn't value this person or anything like that. This time is right, because the internet allows some anonymity, and the fact that you're away from people, and consequences are almost, non-existent for a lot of things, that you have people doing stuff like that, and unfortunately, the address that the guy found, who's called the SWAT team and called like a bomb, no, he was saying people were being abused and the guy had a gun, whatever, sent him to he had the wrong address. The address they went to, the guy came outside and they're getting killed. Right. Completely uninvolved.
That's why I was like, when you hold the person accountable for the actions that they take.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you really should. I mean, the person
that's what I was like. Even
you should hold them.
Yeah, even in London though, like even in London and stuff where they ban the guns, what do they do now? People go around stabbing people. But that's why I was like, it's not the weapon, it's the people. It's always going to boil down to the people, and then the intelligence of the people and the intelligence of society. That's what it's going to boil down to.
But I'd rather you have to walk up on me and have to stab me than like shoot me from afar.
Oh, no, stabbing someone is way more involved, and most people won't do it.
Yeah, it's more personal. Yeah, if somebody stabs you too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's so easy to just pull a trigger and be like, oh, fuck you, pow. But now I don't know. I took some stairs on the other side. I have to be proficient. I have to have that.
No, you don't. All you gotta do is just stab somebody.
You ever stabbed somebody before?
No, I'm saying even in concealed carry class, the guy they showed the video, the surveillance video of some lady. She was literally walking around the street with a butcher knife, stabbing random people.
Yeah, no,
that's what she was doing. It doesn't take anything to hurt anybody. It doesn't take anything to destroy. Nothing.
Yeah, it's not
takes absolutely
difficult
nothing
to stab someone, but physically, it's not physically difficult for most people to stab someone, but it is more because it's more personal. It's less likely to happen in a lot of ways. And plus, people can kind of think, they'll think twice about doing it in a lot of ways. Yeah. Same thing if you're trying to like strangle somebody or
now.
Do
now
else.
I will take a reference from pop culture, which of course I love, which is going to be Rambo. And Rambo told these motherfuckers, when you're pushed, killing is as easy as breathing. And it's like even if you're not pushed, killing is as easy as breathing. That's why I was like, all it takes is that simple act. That's why I was like, it's the people, it's the consciousness behind
that is true.
The weapon, man.
I mean, I've heard from a lot of people like once you do it, it happens, and that's it.
Like I said, it's a disvalue in human life. But one thing is that here's my concern. When it comes to gun control, it's important, but it's being mismanaged in a way because, for example, one of the issues is that they're talking about adding new laws where the problem is they don't properly manage the ones or enforce the ones we have. Say this may be something that some gun owners will probably disagree with, but if you get caught with an illegal gun, especially whether you're a felon or not, if your gun is illegal, you're not licensed to have a gun, they should not be able to just, hand wave your, they shouldn't treat it like if you were speeding and switching to equipment failure. Like, you should have to deal with, like, it should be a mandatory consequence. And I hate mandatory sentencing in a lot of ways, or mandatory minimums, but there should be a real consequence to deter people because a lot of the guns circulating and floating around have been stolen or illegal, stuff like that, and some people are getting slapped on the wrist when they're caught with a handgun, especially a handgun, or anything else that they're not licensed to have.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Like if I'm caught speeding somewhere, and they can say, well, it's only a few miles over the speed limit, so we're going to get you Was it failure or improper equipment or something like that? Okay, but if you catch me with a gun, just because I don't have a license for it, it shouldn't be like, oh, we're just going to give you a slap on the wrist. It's like, no, you have a weapon. You might as well, you could have stole that gun, because especially since guns aren't registered and stuff in most places, but you're not going to get a little slap on the wrist because, either a gun's going back on the street or you're going to, it's not giving incentive to not do it again. Our reactionary criminal justice system is based, it's incentives for you not to do stuff. So that you need is like an incentive where if you have an illegal gun, then it would be like a real incentive for you not to do this again. Whether it's like if you get caught with a illegal gun, they could be like, oh, you get in 30 days, because that's something you can completely control. This isn't a tail light out on your car. This isn't, oh, my registration lapsed or something, so I couldn't pay it. It's like, oh, I made a conscious effort to have this gun and carry it around with me, knowing good and well I didn't have a license for it, or I'm a felon or whatever else. So you might have to look at some sort of mandatory punishment. But because you can almost, get out of a lot of these things, or even they'll knock stuff down, you're not giving people a reason to be legal owners. Because again, most of gun crime we'll encounter in our lives will be from an illegal weapon. Like, I've been at parties where I can guarantee there was a guy I've seen a guy get shot at a party. That dude, he later died. I was feet away from him. I guarantee you that gun was illegal. I guarantee you.
I guess I've been fortunate enough. Only guns I've ever seen in my life have been like legal registered guns, but that's just because I usually hang around. If I'm going to hang around anybody, it's going to be around responsible gun owners. I mean, I'm not going to ignore the fact that guns are out there. That's dumb.
Yeah.
But I've never felt completely and utterly uncomfortable being around you or Ed. I forgot Ed even had a gun, to be honest. I mean, honestly, where I live at now, there's a gun in the house, so
right.
There's that.
Yeah, but it's not a illegal burner that's out there.
Yeah, it's just I just worry about accessibility as far as people being able to get certain guns, and then I just say to myself, well, if you don't make the guns available or you don't make them accessible, then they won't be able to access them. But
this may be unpopular with a lot of
common sense thing.
What I'm about to say is probably going to be pretty unpopular to a lot of people who believe in the Second Amendment and stuff like that. I do too. One of the worst things for gun control in this country was the Second Amendment is considered an inalienable right instead of something that should be regulated. And there's a lot of people are unfortunately on one far end where they're like, oh, you'll say, well, you should register your guns like you register your car, and they're like, nope, it's a right. I shouldn't have to ask the government to own it. Blah blah blah. I'm like, this is a tool for destruction. The gun's a tool for destruction, whether it's paper or an animal or a person. It's a tool for destruction. It's not the car. It doesn't have any other purpose. There's two things the gun does.
My problem.
There's two things the gun does. It either destroys or it gives a threat of you being destroyed, so it's a deterrent. People don't go and run upon police in this country because they have guns on a lot of them. And often, like, what's one of the reasons why you don't hear gun range or gun stores often being robbed? Because the people in there are armed.
Yeah, sure.
But this may be somewhat unpopular. I personally, as a gun owner, and a person who believes in personal self-defense and the armed populace, I actually wouldn't mind if certain weapons were somewhat more inconvenient to acquire. Certain weapons. Determine exactly which one those are, maybe a little more difficult in certain ways, but there could be added anything. There's nothing arbitrary like certain things are proposing where, oh, you gotta wait, I think California is like, you gotta wait a certain number of days or anything like that, or certain purchases. But if I want to buy, certain things, if the process of getting my license or anything was not cumbersome, but maybe a little more inconvenient in certain ways, I could possibly get behind that. Because, getting your gun, like your gun permit, for example, it takes a while to get, but there's nothing wrong with the fact that you have to get fingerprinted, and your stuff sent to the ATF, you're on file if you're a concealed carrier, and the police knowing you're a concealed carrier. Like, to me, that's important. Like, know who, there's no reason the police shouldn't know who's walking around with a gun.
Yep.
You know, and
yeah,
while I think that process shouldn't be inconvenient financially, personally feel like there should be some sort of tax that helps pay for these certain things for people who want to get their permit, or it should be as cheap as a license because it costs $200. You know, you gotta get the class, but I feel like that class should be mandatory because as a gun owner, the scariest thing to me is an untrained, person who has no idea what they're doing walking around with their gun. And in North Carolina, South Carolina, and a lot of states in the South, I believe that they all have open carry laws where you can you pay your $5 permit, you never had to go to a class or anything like that, no safety training or anything, and as long as you have an openly visible open carry holster, then you can walk around and carry it, which is dangerous.
Yep.
Like super dangerous.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
And very scary. Like if I'm at Walmart and I see Cowboy Bill with his 1911 pistol on his hip, I don't know if he ever shot that thing a day in his life or trained with it, or he just carried it around. But if someone has a concealer, one, I probably don't know that they got it. But two, I know they had to prove that they knew how to use it. They went through the class, and even if it had to be more classes that you had to go through, even if a longer class something like that, I feel like that's fair because it's a tool. You need to know how to use it, and how to be safe with it. Because unfortunately, one of the undeniable things is you're more likely to be injured by a gun in your own home. It's there, it exists. But you want someone to be, trained in gun safety. Like, for example, every single gun in my home, I know exactly where it is at this very second. Just put it away. The kid who lives in my house can't access it. But he's also been talked to and trained and shown and stuff like that, where he doesn't go looking for it. We've dispelled, like, he knows this is doing this and shooting a gun. But take him to a gun range, he's seen shotguns, rifles, and everything.
Why are there 3 big dudes over here?
Yeah, they run up on him.
God damn, 4.
But, he knows he knows how to separate fact from fiction. He knows that this is not reality. He knows how loud a gun is, and he knows in our stories, I'm getting toe up now. So he doesn't even, charge anything. But a lot of people who don't go through those steps, they don't go through that stuff. They don't put their kids through that stuff. And, I knew someone, this kid who, this was a long time ago, I was in hospital. He went in his grandma's drawer and grabbed her gun and started playing with it. He got caught. He got in trouble. But the thing was, his grandmother never had that talk with him about, this is what this is, and it's not a toy. It shouldn't be anything to play with. And plus, she just had a thing like in her sock drawer or something like that. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all gotta be smarter.
But I'm also still I'm a fan of it's better to know than to not know.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was like, especially if like your children, I don't have children, but I would think that it would probably be better for me to inform him and educate him on gun safety and gun laws and and the things than to try to protect him from everything and keep blinders on him.
Yep.
So I do believe that.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
I don't know. Me personally, I guess, and I will say I am biased against guns because of the fact of like the personal experiences I've had in my own life with them. Mm-hmm. But I get the pluses, but it's just the accessibility.
I see what you're saying too, because I know someone who is like that because in his younger days, or whatever, he owned the gun, illegally and all that stuff, and the way he grew up, so he doesn't like having weapons and guns and stuff around. So I do understand that point too.
Somebody stuck somewhere. This is annoying. Yeah, but no, like I said, your feelings and everything on that are valid, and I won't act like we don't have an issue with gun crimes in this country, but I kind of feel like a lot of it is being, the focus is misguided in a lot of ways because they're looking at certain things with, they're reacting against, they're being reactionary, it's kind of the same thing that happened with cars. When cars first came out, you know, there were no traffic laws or anything. They kind of just played it by ear and figured out, you know, try to do what they could at different points. But there was nothing for people to get run over by cars, people to walk out in the street and all other kinds of stuff. You know.
Someone's stuck in there.
Oh, he's petrified.
Dude?
Yep. Somebody throw a turret over there. Maybe a turret will fire into the wall.
People are running around shooting this wall.
That's what it's happening, because like every time we play something. Alright, you ready to move on to the next?
Yeah. Like I think I'm gonna beat that up a little bit, so.
Is that your boy, Juicy? Your boy Juicy's next?
Oh, do I Juicy? Juicy Smollier?
I don't know what happened. Please tell me what happened.
Well, apparently he's being indicted or something, man.
Yeah, he's got like seven felony charges going against him because they apparently because you know Chicago Police Department dropped the charges, but you know so many police officers and everybody were so pissed off about it they decided to hire a private prosecutor. So now they have an indictment with 7 felonies on it, you know, so this motherfucker is about to be fucked. Even though he's already fucked, because they said like he hasn't been on his Twitter in 8 months, he hasn't said anything. But the biggest issue is that people have is that he never apologized for it.
Right. Yeah,
so,
well, to apologize is to admit that
you're wrong. Exactly. Yes, exactly. But that's what, like, even with all the evidence, huh?
Say what?
Let's fight real quick.
You said white?
Oh, because there's gas stuck in the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna throw a grenade right now.
Thanks for this all.
I'm not drinking this Kool-Aid with you.
Drink the Kool-Aid more. Yeah, I think it goes back to the whole thing with it goes. That's not even hurting me. Like this whole thing, it goes back to this whole thing with Jesse the first time. Is that, you know, people
I can't be
believe
killed,
him
son.
because it was so absurd. Like, you know, everything with him the first time was absurd, so people kind of believed it.
Yo, I guess we know who got the best builds though right now.
Yeah. Now they drop some more grenades or fire or something.
I don't have any more grenades. That's the problem.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh my God,
Hold on, blow your BB up beside you. Doesn't it like hurt somebody when you do
Where's it at?
Shoot BB-8.
Oh,
No,
hold on, let me
just blow
shoot
it
it.
up.
I can't blow it. Oh, you talking about just hold it?
Yeah.
That's not gonna blow it up though. This is gonna. That's it. Bruh. Bruh.
Yeah, with Jesse, that whole thing was just that he, you know, people had something to believe in for part of it at the time. You know, but then the story got crazier and crazier, and people were just like, yeah, this don't sound right. Yeah. The thing is, y'all might have to like run back and see if you can find some grenades with him. The whole thing with him, like you said, he's not apologizing, but I also feel like, you know, you gotta be careful about letting certain people get away with stuff.
Grenades. You have all the grenades.
Got you.
The thing is, with getting people, you know, I guess my issue with the Chicago Police Department is, all your resources are going to still be...
Okay, bring me back alive and then I kill you with my grenade.
His grenades won't hurt you.
My grenades hurt me.
Yeah, but it won't hurt him.
Yeah.
But I think the whole thing, you know, Chicago's still pressing the whole thing. It's like y'all spending more resources to try to get this man, you know.
Well, it sounds like he rolled the 1, so, you know, he fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what happened. So not only did we not buy your story, now he's going to jail for it. So that's what happens.
Personally, I would love to know why he did it. I would love to know why.
Well, they said he did it to because his career was in the gutter or whatever, and he wanted to promote his career and, you know, all this other shit.
That's
but it ended up
weird,
backfiring on him.
So he rolled for persuasion and
At least
got a 1.
I think that's what people are saying, because
Mark,
I'm pretty sure he's still, you know, saying that he's innocent and he didn't, you know, do it.
Of
course he is. But, you know, that's the thing is, we all know that he is not. And it's just, I mean, we all know this kind of person in our life. It's like, yo,
I'm
stop.
trying
Like,
to,
you don't
but
have to
I
say
can't go
that
all the
you
way
do
back.
this one thing. We know you don't actually do this one thing, but yet here you go saying that you do this one thing. So we just let it go. But at this point, it's fucking with other people. So, you know, down we go.
The thing is,
I
his
don't feel sympathy
career,
for him doing it to himself.
wasn't he still on Empire? And that show was still going pretty well?
Yeah,
like,
he was still on Empire.
Yeah.
Everybody just respond.
Hold on, I got it.
We good.
I found a grenade.
Really?
Yeah. Come on, Wade.
Come on, man.
Yeah, see, you gotta be patient, Lone Wolf. You gotta chill out.
Where's your face, brother? Where's your face?
None. You got no face. Always run ahead.
That would have been awesome if he actually killed the person behind the door.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Here we are.
It'd be sad if it's another big dude waiting back there behind the fort.
Ugh. That'd be great. I can't wait.
I respond before all y'all. I'll be drunk for the win.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Jesse. He can, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he's not, well, he'll make friends.
Juicy
He'll make friends.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, but I will say, I get sick of people who like, man, this is why you setting the black fleet back and blah blah blah. Like, nah, the people who already wouldn't believe this stuff happened, this wasn't going to change it for them. They weren't going to look at this like, see, it happened to one guy, so we have to believe in that. There's plenty of history they could have fall back on. I always hate when people like sit on that kind of explanation. No one's going to believe people this happened to people now. Okay, they didn't believe in the first place.
Justin
goes,
lie about it.
Where's Journey? Where's your sister? So she can tell me to sit down somewhere.
I don't know. She's chilling. She's living her life.
Yeah. She was like, Jesse,
did the Great
Invaders,
and she was, no. I think she's actually on a television show now or something like that.
She's still acting.
Yeah.
Get these babies out of here.
Get out of here, you big bastards.
Blow them up. I need some more pop on these buses. You know what? I wonder if that was a robot that was stuck behind that door last time.
No. No robot.
Alright, let him come out the door. Let him come out the door. So we don't get stuck this time.
It'd be funny if one guy ran back.
One of them's still in there.
He's like, I quit.
You say he's still in there?
Yeah, the door closed too.
Oh, come on, man.
Well, keep a grenade, fellas.
Oh, no, maybe he came on.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, this dude's suppressed. Hopefully. Nah, he's in that room. I see his arrow. Come on, man.
There's two of them in there this time.
No.
This is bullshit.
Monster closet broken.
Yeah, so next time, let's just let them come. Let's not even.
Yeah.
Let's just let them come.
It sounds like they got game plan for that, though. There's someone else down here.
Lucy was in there turning that damn alarm off.
Yeah, it is quite annoying, but you know what? Hey, we're doing it.
I mean, after this mission, I gotta go. So I guess
Sure.
Let's see.
Alright, so not the white.
They didn't like us talking about Juicy.
Yeah. I'm talking about Juicy. Come on, Ubisoft. Fix your game.
Hey guys, what are you doing? You're all down. I was out. Hold on.
You better not, you bastard.
You gotta kill yourself. Kill yourself.
Yeah, kill yourself.
Join us.
I'm out of granadas. Hold on.
Are you fucking kidding me?
There's a restock crate back there. That's the one. I got one grenade out of there. You gentlemen mind if I respawn?
Yeah, go right ahead. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
People
Man, when y'all get on
like,
PC, man, so we can play like all these great PC games out here.
We're not fucking doing it.
Get on PC.
No, we're not.
So I can use my dope ass graphics card and shit.
No,
come on, guys.
You fucked up. You made the wrong choice.
I made the right choice. You're making the wrong choice.
Right.
No.
Think about it, Mark.
You guys, alright. You guys ready to talk about Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade. It's spelled Dwayne Wade.
Sure. Go ahead.
So, for people who don't know, Dwayne Wade, his at the time son, has come out transgender, or I guess not conforming to the original human identity.
Yeah, because he's 12.
Yeah, he's 12. And the thing is, again, I'm not fortunate to know. So, but now Zion wants to be known as Zaya, and Dwayne supports that. And personally, for me, I feel like Dwayne being a great father and supporting his child, because let's say, for example, Zaya knows exactly what she's talking about, because she did say she wants those pronouns, these pronouns. She knows exactly what she's talking about, and that's her life. Or, something changes later, and she goes back to Zion, or to herself non-binary or whatever, as she has more life experience, and Dwayne's being supportive. But, I personally feel like he's been a hell of a father, and I don't want to say I'm from the press because that seems kind of patronizing, but, that's like he's doing a great job of what parents should do with their kids, support their kids, and if they're not harming themselves and not harm their kids, and he's not forcing Zaya to stay in a closet or do what she doesn't want to do in a way, and as far as you can tell, she seems happy for the most part. As far as we can tell, we don't know celebrity stuff like that, but I don't know, I think it's good. On the flip side, I don't know. Huh? Personally, I don't know what I would do. I would try to be the same, supportive in the same way. No, I would definitely be supportive, but as far as feelings, I would there'd be a lot of learning and stuff like that, because it's not anything I'm accustomed to. And literally this thing only happens to, I've only seen it happen to famous people, of course, because, they're famous so they end up in the news. So,
yeah. I mean, oh, go ahead. Yeah, Mark.
No, like I said earlier, it don't change my tax bracket, so,
oh yeah, when it comes
truly
to
doesn't concern me. But I will say though that I think it speaks volumes that someone as prominent in the sport culture is just coming. Well, I don't want to say coming out, but it's just saying like, hey, look, I'm just want to support my child. Y'all knuckleheads been making this difficult for y'all for so many years. All you actually have to do is just love your child and let be what be, and then raise them with some values that you would want any person who breathes air to have.
Right.
Yeah.
So, from that point, but
at the same time,
it's
a lot of
a story, great, but
like you said, at the end of the day, it doesn't move the needle for any of us. This is not us. But I think it is a good example for people who do have to deal with that. He and his wife are doing a good thing. Wait, if you don't get up. But if
are we summoning a demon? What is this? What is happening?
Oh, it's from The Rock. Come on, it's from The Rock.
What is Wade doing?
It's from The Rock. You ever seen The Rock? Jerry Bruckheimer.
He made me nervous. I don't
know.
Nicolas
Cage?
Cage?
I don't know what's going on.
No, I don't watch movies at all.
I think the interesting thing that I've noticed with when it comes to Dwayne Wade is that, and granted, this is either part internet, but probably still representative of a lot of stuff in real life. Dwayne can't do a lot of things without people questioning his sexuality, which I think is stupid. Because
she married to Gabrielle Union.
But it doesn't matter. They see, his shorts are too short, he gay. Oh, he painted his toes black, he gay. It's a bunch of super arbitrary nonsense that comes up so much.
That's the problem. people don't realize, people aren't used to, like, parents actually being parents with their kids. Like, I'll paint look, whatever my cousin wants me to do, fine, let's do it. Because in reality, that's what's important. And I don't think we're used to seeing that. I mean,
Right.
Dwayne is this man plays basketball, gets paid handsomely for it, and then gets to enjoy his family.
Oh yeah, he was at the top. He was at the top of the sport, definitely.
Yeah, so
But
it's
here's my feeling of it. I feel like I've said it. I feel like I said it online before, but the thing with Dwayne Wade and a lot of guys in his position, when people react the way they do to stuff he does that isn't considered traditionally masculine, or they call himself gay. You got everyone has to admit, calling someone gay because the way they dress is the stupidest thing. Stupid. It's completely stupid and completely ridiculous. But the thing is, humans are taught to be binary in so many ways that anything that does not conform to those binary ideas, they attack. Because honestly, it has to get people to question their own sexuality in a way. Like, there's nothing wrong with understanding that sexuality is a spectrum. And sexuality can be fluid. But it's been hammered on people so often that they have to be this way or that way, that they react. It's that backfire effect. You say something kind of to what people believe, and they react almost violently to it. It's a visceral reaction to that kind of stuff because it's not the same as what they were taught. It happens with politics, it happens with religion. So you think about sexuality in that way. You tell a guy, example, when like people would talk about anal sex and stuff like that, and like, oh man, if a dude like anal sex with his girl, he's in the closet, he's secretly gay. I'm like, so something a person's doing with someone of the opposite sex makes them gay? Like, how stupid do you sound? Because you can apply that to anything else. For anyone
cover up here for this shit.
For anyone who's listening, if you say that about anal sex, then you can't say it about getting head, because that can be done with another man as well. So if that's going to be,
I don't know. There's nothing gay about getting your dick sucked. I learned that from Harold and Kumar. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, I mean, he's right. This is true. Nothing gay.
Nothing
gay.
Like
I've been there. That's what I tell him. That's what I tell him.
Nothing gay about getting your dick sucked.
Just let it happen.
Yeah,
get that cock meat sandwich. That's it.
Sounds delish. I would like to, please.
Yeah. As far as the way it goes, like like I said, it doesn't move the needle for us. And so I just think hopefully you'll see more people just letting their kids be kids, man.
Just let your kids be kids and just be a good parent. Just
honestly, if you support your child, like apparently Dwayne and Gabrielle aren't making Zaya do anything. They're just letting her express herself the way she wants. Then what's wrong with that? Because if she changes her mind, or feels differently with more experience as she gets older and understands, okay, maybe I just more aligned with certain things that are more feminine, but I can still present as a man or be considered male or whatever, she may change her mind. She may not. She may understand that she may know her truth already. There are some people who are mad at Dwayne for allowing this, and they don't even know who the hell they are. They don't even know themselves. Like, but people get so mad and attack people on game. I'm like, people just gotta stop being, so angry at strangers for them not harming their kids. Because hell, you can barely tell anybody not to beat their kids if they have a conniption. It's probably not a good idea to beat your kids and make them afraid of you. But you tell me what to do in my house, I'll beat the shit out of my kid if I want to. But alright, man.
I will say, coming up from a household like that, it is not okay for you to raise your children or anyone in fear. That is not okay.
At all. That's the worst thing. For example, for the kid in our home, my wife and I, we talk a lot about it. Like, I don't feel like, we should, this is the way we do it. And he hasn't been physically disciplined in years because it's not effective. And I was like, I don't want him to be afraid of us. And she's like, yeah, he doesn't need to be afraid of us.
Right.
We're not going to breed this and we're not going to breed oppression and stuff. And yeah, my parents used physical discipline with me and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm fine, but at the same time, Like it was never done in anger and stuff like that. And they kind of, at some point, even though they came from an older school, they kind of just stopped. You know, they're like, yeah, this isn't the way. You know, honestly, talking to me and then or taking away privileges was way more effective. And same thing with the kid in the house. It's way more effective with him. I'm like, you're not gonna beat him. There's no reason to beat him. I do. I'm 6'2" and some change, 300 pounds. He'll be afraid. I'll put my hands on him one time. He'll probably be afraid of me. Like, come on, man. I'm not gonna. I don't want him
I
afraid
just got
of me.
too big. My mom would still do it.
It don't matter size.
I'm just too big now. It's like I would laugh if she did. It's like, Mom, please.
Yeah, but no, this shit was going to.
She would.
You gotta be careful. She might get a brick and then go upside your head.
No, I would just look at her and be like, this doesn't affect me at all. Like, I appreciate what you're doing, but
who's a meme now? I kept seeing a meme pop up.
Robot.
Yeah. Yeah,
I am a GoBot.
But that's my biggest takeaway from ways. Like, I just think it's a good thing for them to be doing. Support your kids. You know, let them be kids, man. Let them be children.
Yeah.
And you know, stop trying to blame the gay agenda because your kids aren't happy with you or you're unhappy with your life. You know, whatever the. Matter of fact, Mark, what is the gay agenda? Other than people leaving all the fuck alone, what's the gay agenda? Is there a gay agenda?
Oh, well, if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
You'd have to kill you, or suck your dick. I don't know which one.
Or make
one or the other.
No.
So whatever you're prepared for, you let me know.
The gay agenda is to spread the gay. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
For anyone listening,
like Korean hit factories.
We're not being serious people. You know, if you don't get it, you came in just now, we're not being serious. Honestly, the gay agenda is just like the black agenda. Just stop discriminating and, you know, let people live their lives and do what they want to be. This dog rolled up right next to me. He's like, trying to kick my ass.
I mean, most of the gay agenda is like, I want to say most of it. The gay agenda is just like realizing, hey, we're everywhere, and we always have been, and we never won't be.
And that's okay.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I'm down. What the fuck?
Alright, I'm gonna try to get you from out of dog.
Something is... Alright, come on. What is this thing? Whose green shit is this spraying me? What is this?
I got you, Ed. Hold on.
Oh, this big guy here.
Oh,
this big guy's
God,
right here. He's right here.
Mother. Alright.
I'll just sit here.
Look out, Mark. Mark is the big dude over there.
Where?
Like, gun him down.
Look
Gun
at
down.
That. Look at
Alright, I'm coming in.
No, that's fine. Let him stay. He's good. He's got friends.
I mean, he's holding it together. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Mark want me to switch over to PC. That's what he wants.
No,
that's what he wants.
Now he says you're okay because you spoke out on the gay agenda. He told you he had to kill you. He just went on the game. You know?
Yep.
That's true.
Let's see.
Okay, good.
So I guess the other stuff was, and this is kind of, I don't want to tread it too long because it's kind of been, you know, the force has been beat pretty well, but, you know, the whole thing with, let's see what's out here. The other thing I had on here was, you know, everything with Weinstein, Kobe, and talking about, yes, people's heroes or whomever, especially with black people, you know, the whole response to joking and all that kind of stuff. You know, like, one thing I'll say is, you know, with Gayle King, my issue, I had an issue with her, but it's not her, it's mostly with the media. It's because,
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what happened.
Basically, Gayle King, so you know, Kobe Bryant tragically died, him and his daughter in a helicopter accident. Gayle had an interview with Lisa Leslie, a good friend of Kobe's, and she brought up the rape case. And this was just like a minute-and-a-half snippet of the whole interview that CBS shared. It was like a 15-minute interview or something like that, but she brought it up and his legacy and stuff like that. A lot of people ran on her online, of course, talking about, you know, she didn't have to, like, she shouldn't have brought it up, he just died, you know, blah, blah, blah. Some people have some valid concerns. A lot of people were calling her name and stuff like that. Snoop Dogg made a dumbass video calling her a dog face bitch and, you know,
which he did later apologize for.
He only apologized because his mama told him to.
Well, I mean, I don't think his mom told him to. I think she taught him understanding it. Exactly. That's why I was like that. And I think listening is a skill that most people do not have. Yeah. That's why I was like, you can hear what I'm saying, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. And that's like something that's like people do not understand that's a skill that I feel like most people should start to refine, or they should refine in their lives. Because if you, and that's what I was like, that would solve a lot of our issues pretty much everywhere if you just listen to what the fuck people are saying instead of running your fucking mouth.
But the thing is with Snoop was that, he talked to his mom, but he had one apology talking about, he needed to come off as threatening or whatever. And then he came off and apologized, but Snoop has made a career of calling them bitches and hoes for years, so I'm like, how much of that was genuine, in his old age? Because he's never been checked for that, and hasn't, no one's going to check him for that now. Dude's been cooking for years, and nothing wrong with a lot of that, but...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean people can't grow, though. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Growth. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for progress.
I understand that, but I'm asking... I'm skeptical of how genuine it is, because, he's
have a right.
That's something I'm just skeptical with this particular one. I like growth, and if this is genuine, he actually grew from this, and he continues to show it, that's great. But I'm skeptical because dude is in his, 50s? And this has been the crux of his career, pimping and calling women bitches and hoes, all kinds of stuff. And he did it with such casual candor. Even his first apology really wasn't an apology for saying that to her. He was just saying, he didn't mean to come off as a threat when he told people that we're going to come get you or whatever. And then he made another apology after he talked to his mom. Now, she may have put something in him that he's like, you know what, you're right, and he's actually some learning experience. Or if it's like, I'm just going to, let me figure out a way to, this might actually mess up the bag, and let me walk this back. It could be both things, and I have a somewhat distrust of public displays of a lot of things by a lot of celebrities when they're called on or called out and stuff. Because a lot of times they're saying a lot of stuff to appease whoever's coming at them and not necessarily because how they actually feel.
I can agree with that.
I can agree with that. I would like, I don't know, I think in this scenario...
It'd be great if it's genuine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. I want to believe... I mean, I haven't listened to either scenario, or either apology, but personally, I feel like if his mom did talk to him, and she was like, hey boy, what you gonna do is call this woman and let her know that you are sorry.
I got you, Wade.
Because what you won't do, because that could have very well have been me, or whatever blah 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 she would have said. Yeah. So I can appreciate that. But it's just I guess that's I can appreciate that.
And I was saying the listening thing because I read an article that I don't know how true it is or not. I read it on CNN, so where someone was making, it was like a personal, I think I'm pretty sure it was an opinion piece about Martin Luther King. How they were saying like everybody thought Martin Luther King's greatest skills were his oratory skills or his leadership skills, but his greatest skill was that he had the ability to listen. That's what his greatest skill was. So that's why I was like, for me, that's why I was like, I don't do New Year's resolutions or anything like that, but like for a lifetime resolution for personal growth for myself, I've chosen to, I'm trying to decide to listen more. You know what I mean? Not just hear people's words, but actually, take them to heart and understand what they're trying to say, so that I can then apply it to my life.
Right.
And so, that's something I'm trying to personally do.
Yeah,
so,
that's I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was done.
I would say one thing is, it feels like a lot of times, we gotta get more. Yeah.
Well, I'm done. I was trying to heal myself.
One thing that I feel like happens a lot with online interaction, non-personal interactions, is everyone is talking to respond. They're listening to respond and not listening to understand. And like I said, Martin Luther King, he did do a great job. Even Malcolm X, to an extent, did a good job of listening and understanding what people from whatever side are saying. But I think with this whole thing with like Snoop and stuff, not just on him, but like the whole thing with Gayle King was like she brought up questions about it, and my issue was with on the media side. I feel like that could wait. A person just died. We saw it with the whole thing with the coverage of the helicopter crash and everything. The media rushes to be first, not correct. They're not worried about how his family's going to feel about this news being called out, because apparently TMZ breaking the news is how Vanessa and the kids heard about it. before the sheriff's department could get to her. And I believe you should have this information first, but there's so much speculation, a lot is thrown out. They threw Rick Fox in there. They say all his whole family was on the helicopter, so you're thinking him and his 4 daughters and wife are all dead. And before you get the truth out, because everyone's trying to be first. And then when it comes to interviews and stuff, and Gail does this. The thing with Gail is she does those interviews that she asks the questions that people want answers to. And whether or not, you don't know if it's how she feels or anything else, but she's successful because the questions she asks, people want to know this stuff and they won't answer them, even if they don't answer themselves. And that happens a lot. And again, there's nothing wrong with that at times, but in this particular instance, I feel like a deep dive and an in-depth thing, yes, that's part of his legacy. I don't think
get those Sentry guns, man.
Yeah,
shoot
I don't
those
think
fucking generators.
I'm blind. I don't think anyone can tarnish the legacy of someone else, especially this early. It's their own actions. You know what I'm saying? Their own actions can do that. So, like Kobe, his life was complicated. There was a rape accusation, but the thing was, how important was it to ask about that now? Why are you asking his female friend Lisa about that particular thing? And then the way she asked it didn't feel objective, because she was like, I won't say leading with the questions, but there were times she would have, I'm getting touched. She would have, she was like, Lisa said the stuff, that a lot of athletes are known for, Lisa's like, yeah, he never did that for me. He never was like, hey, don't go to the girl, nothing like that. And she's like, yeah, Kobe was like that, he would never do that. And they was like, well, you wouldn't know. But I'm kind of like, how do you know? You don't know, you only know their relationship as far as what Lisa is sharing. And you gotta be careful when you're leading with questions like that, and I just feel like she wasn't being objective. Like, for example, we know how the case had some information that was not, there were certain things that came out that were, okay. There were certain things about that case, like, different evidence, the fact that the woman wouldn't, wouldn't testify, and a number of other things that kept it, from being like him being found guilty, whatever. So the issue I have is like, if you're trying to be objective, even in a
I'm gonna wipe because I don't have any more shit, any more fucking things. The wave's gone, so yeah, I'm about to wipe this shit. I'm done. Fuck it. No respawn.
Yeah, but the issue with there's a lot of things in that case. So when Gail kind of referred to someone as the victim and not the accuser, I'm like, you gotta be careful with that, because she's an accuser and Kobe wasn't found guilty. And again, I'm not saying he didn't do it, I'm not saying he did do it. The thing is, if you're a journalist, you gotta be objective in these kind of things. And Gail's kind of, not really doing that.
Sweet.
But a lot of people wrote on her for asking the question. You tarnish Lynn Legacy, and then they're calling her anti-black because her and Oprah asked stuff about black men and stuff like that. And I have my own issues with Oprah in a lot of ways. Like, I kind of feel like there's certain things she does with pandering, and she's not as like pro-black as she puts out some of that. But I also don't feel like she's attacking black men only or specifically. Because people are like, oh, well, she's friends with Weinstein. Why is she talking about him? Where's the Weinstein documentary? Well, there's multiple Weinstein documentaries. There's another one coming out, and the man's on trial. So it kind of gets to a larger point where I feel like, unfortunately, when black times with black people, what will happen is, I guess they feel like, I don't know if you know the whole saying, keep the family's business inside the house.
Yeah.
And a lot of black people don't want black people talking about other black people around non-black people, basically on TV, the media, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to do it in the elevator.
We never talked about the movie Harriet.
Yeah.
Nope.
Or consider,
I don't even want to talk about that movie.
Think about, what do you call it, Michael Jackson. If Michael Jackson wasn't black, people wouldn't be wrong for the same way. Because there was a lot of accusers, and because Oprah's name was attached to it, documentary on him and stuff like that. They're talking like anti-black, all kinds of stuff. And it's like, these people have complicated legacies, and this is a part of their story. This is a part of their narrative. Yes, they are no longer here. They can't defend themselves, but at the same time, if most people, you're not going to believe whatever. And what Gail was doing wasn't trying to really convince anybody of his guilt. Of course, a lot of people are being tasteless and told, that Ari, whatever, he's not important enough to remember his last name. That comedian talking about some, a rapist who got away for however many years, yeah, blah blah blah, celebrating Kobe's death, and basically nobody was having it. He's lost gigs and all the kinds of stuff because of that. And I'm like, yeah, you're just doing that to be shocking and edgy and whatnot, But there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but just have a level of decorum, just be, some courtesy and say, hey, should we talk about this right now? Do we need to bring up this old case from 2003 at this very moment? The man's not even buried yet. He had a complicated life. He wasn't some sort of monster who had multiple accusations or anything like that. He was literally having a one time. The man, he apologized for putting that woman in that position, even though he never admitted guilt. And, it's again, he's a complex individual and it's a complex thing. But, nuance and stuff like that isn't allowed on the internet, so you're not going to see that. And then, everybody has to be super reactionary all the time. There can't be measured responses to stuff, it feels like.
Are we supposed to be moving up or something? Or do we actually have to kill this person?
We gotta kill
what the
dude.
Fuck? Where these people come from, man? What the fuck is going on, bro? What the fuck?
I'm crawling back to y'all like a dumb bitch.
I didn't even see these people. I thought the boss was the only one left.
Alright, wait a sec.
Yo. Yeah, I'm trying to wait for you, but they're launching grenades and shit all the way over here. You died in the worst possible spot. Literally the worst possible spot.
Turn the corner. Alright, you got it. There you go. Look at that. You're doing great.
Oh my god.
Okay, and we're good. Look at that.
Don't go that way.
No. Man, kill this bitch up.
Oh, I'm down. How did they blow me up? Bro. The boss is right by me. Come on, man.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, this whole thing was, I don't know.
Y'all both down at the same, y'all both back there?
Yeah, I was trying to run past, but it was weird. He was back on and then he kind of
Hey, Mark, blow up that grenade launcher, motherfucker, man. That's what we need to get out of here.
Right now.
I wish I had my damn grenade launcher. No, I wanted to switch the gunner. Damn. Who is shooting me?
Probably the boss over there.
What a bitch.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like I was saying, people were just rolling up on Jill in that way.
Yo, she is like, she's hit me with like 3 bullets and erasing my fucking armor. I'm down. Fuck.
Come on, man.
Hey, Mark, I don't know where you at. I can't get that heal over here.
I got blown up. Yeah, whatever that mortar is coming from.
Alright, I'm coming.
Yeah, like I was saying, yeah, this whole thing.
Watch out, she's about to send those 2 drones over here, man.
Yeah,
go blow those up first. Never mind, I'm dead.
Watch out. Run away, Mark. Run away.
Oh, heal yourself. Alright.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Just heal yourself, because I don't have any more shields.
I don't have anything to heal myself.
Yeah, neither do I. Fuck. You're about to die. They're gonna shoot you in the back. Yep. There it goes.
Before we go out, wait for Wade to come back.
I got murdered.
He leaves at the worst time.
Is everybody down?
Yeah, we all died.
Yeah, we all died.
Right. Yeah, I got
okay.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. So after this mission, I definitely gotta get off. But.
Okay. Man, if you don't put on your pants and tell your wife, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, go right now while we out here, because the worst time to go is.
I know. I was just with him, but she said she's gonna change his diaper real quick, so that's what she's doing.
Okay.
He's crying like he got a whole load for you too. That thing in there hot and steaming.
He is unhappy, boy.
Completely. Yeah, but I don't know. So, you guys have anything to say on that part? What were you talking about?
Not really.
Nothing intelligible. I mean, I just, Gail asked the question. I'm sorry he did it, but he fucking did it. So, yikes. But you don't want the question to ever be asked. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I look at it to say to myself, if you don't want to ever be in that situation, then you shouldn't have did it what the fuck you did. And forever, that is the price that you will pay. I'm sorry. That's, that's the consequences to actions, but do I even take that into myself? Yes, if I don't do certain shit, because eventually, one day, I'm going to have to answer for that shit. So if I don't want to answer for it, I probably shouldn't fucking do it.
Well, the thing is, it's not even him answer for it, because one, he's dead, and then no one really brought it up because he essentially got past that. Nothing ever came of it. I think they had a civil suit. The only thing he admitted to, the only thing he admitted to was cheating on his wife, and which he did, because he never denied having sex with women. And whether he did or not, it's up for contention because, not to rehash it too much. Yeah,
for me, it's kind of like it's forgive and forget. Yeah, I forgave you, but I'm not gonna forget the shit that you did. Like I'm not.
But I'm gonna say this though, like the people who believe he didn't do it have a valid reason again because there's nothing concrete other than the fact that they had sex. Because they mentioned how the woman may or may not have a mental problem. She didn't testify. There's other signs that she had sex with more than one person, including another man seen it on the television. So there's evidence to say that this is more of a complex issue. So you can't just say he did it or didn't do it. You know what I mean? But he never tried to silence people or anything like that. And the thing is, it's a valid thing to bring up because the case happened and he admitted through his apology that he believed it was consensual. And unfortunately, he understands now that he may have not felt that way. He didn't admit guilt, but it's probably the most mature response to any type of accusation I've seen. Because he never said, "Oh, f that bitch," and I never slept with her, or he tried to deny it. But he was like, "No, I thought it was consensual." And I think there were certain things that came out during the deposition that pointed to it started consensual or may not have ended consensual. So it could have been a removal of consent situation. So,
but the problem for me is that you cheated on your. I mean,
honestly,
you cheated on your wife, so that's the thing that's the price you pay. I don't know, maybe.
Well, no, the price he paid was
the
price he paid was potentially losing his wife and giving her that $5, $10 million, however $1 million ring it was.
Ooh,
she decided to stay with him. Like, some people may not agree, but to me, if someone cheating on their wife, it's not our business.
It really is.
That has nothing.
Well, I feel like on that thing, it becomes your business. Well, once you become a public figure and it becomes a business of the public, because then it's almost as if, I mean, personally, I don't really give a shit, but it's because he betrayed the public's trust, and once that happens, there has to be some type of. But yeah, the trust. The thing is, like, but that's what I was like. Once you become a celebrity, once you become on that stage or whatever, there is a certain responsibility for you to uphold, whatever people see as true, antiquated values or whatever, and that's just the way it is. It's a trap, but that's the way society is, though. That's why I was like, that's why everybody's so shocked when they heard Bill Cosby did what he did. They're like, no fucking way he could do it. And I was like, yeah, it's a way he could do it. He's a fucking human being. Yeah, of course. Right, but people, they hold to a higher standard.
The thing is, like, should those people be held to a higher standard? Because especially actors,
they're human beings.
No. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. And the thing
I
is,
don't know how many times. That's what I was like. You remember the old Dave Chappelle stand-up when he was like, why the fuck are you looking up to celebrities? Why are you looking up to them as your fucking role models? How stupid are you? Right. Yeah. What does Ja Rule think about what happened? Who gives a fuck about what Ja Rule thinks?
Exactly
right. Who gives a fuck
about what Ja Rule thinks?
Yeah.
that's what he even had the example up there. He was like, you know, the Coke and Pepsi thing. I mean, he was like, Pepsi paid me more recently, so it tastes better. That's what it's like. That's what it is. But that's why I was like, there are people out there that look up to celebrities, unfortunately, and there are probably more people that do than don't. That look up to celebrities as their role models, which is completely strange to me. But hey, that's the way society is.
Even crazier for you think about, you know, athletes. Athletes are well liked because they do something well that most of us can't.
They entertain us. That's all they do.
Right.
They entertain.
And I would say I even think it's a little different from actors, because the thing is, you know, actors we know less about them overall except what they share, because actors make, this gonna sound kind of weird, but actors make a living around professionals. They're pretending to be who they aren't. So like Bill Cosby and Heath Ledger aren't the same guy, and a lot of people act like he was. You know, when he turned out to be apparently a monster, you know, which you don't expect. But yeah, we got to stop deifying these people and putting them on pedestals and understand that they're human. You know, but the thing is, with Kobe, even so, his thing, him cheating on his wife. No one.
We're getting attacked from behind, y'all. Attacked from behind.
All right. Like, no one stuck on that in a way. Trying to hurt her, take it out. Boom.
Alright. Boss is down.
But the thing is, you know, with Kobe, the whole thing.
I'm down.
I got you.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shit, Mark, there's a dog right behind you. There's a dog right behind you.
Why am I thinking automatically crying? I'm not even pushing you. Yeah.
Thank you.
But the thing is, with can you get up here late?
I'm dead.
Behind the sun.
You said what?
I'm dead.
Yeah, Mark right here.
God.
Be careful, Mark.
I'm completely dead.
Stop healing me. Shoot the dude. Yeah, take your time. You still got two dudes rushing. There you go. Oh, that's weird. But yeah, like I said, the whole thing with Kobe, man, it's a complex thing. The question got asked, and it's such a weird faux outrage thing, because like people are so mad at this question being asked, and you know they didn't know him in real life. A lot of people hated who they thought he was, you know, and so people get like, it's such like a visceral attack that people had because of this question. Dog get on my nerves. Oh, big dude. Don't chase me.
Many of you may not know me, but over the next month or so, you may have heard rumors about what happened.
Yeah, I should put my demolition drill back on. For this, I didn't think it was gonna be as hard to get through here.
Mark, shoot this dude. Damn, got two of them right now.
What? Just hold right there for a second.
I'm trying to.
I almost got that. Alright, Ed, you're up.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, the short version, like I said, expect these questions to be asked. People run up on Gail because she asked them need to relax. You know, threaten her and stuff like that, doing this crazy stuff. Relax.
Yeah, no, that's unnecessary. I mean, personally, the situation ain't got anything to do with anybody else besides, you know, Gail.
My whole feeling is
that's family. I mean, our opinions are gonna be what they are.
Yeah.
But I mean, y'all mind your goddamn business. I mean, shit.
Yeah. And like I said, my whole feeling of it is like, you know,
Roger, we're on the way.
Overall, people who decide to put death threats out because someone says something they don't like are forever whack. I don't care who you are, that's just whack. You know. Oh, she asked a question about one of my heroes, somebody I didn't really think about daily, but she said something like death threats. Like, you send death threats is just whack. You know, it's one thing, like, you personally know somebody, or they killed somebody, or did something and got away with it, or whatever. Okay, there's certain parts to that, but, like, overall, like, you know, bomb threats and death threats and threatening people because it's dumb, man. It's completely ridiculous.
We got it.
That Savage Wolverine? Yeah. So, that's that. You know, we'll probably talk about more in other ways. Need more stuff or whatever. But, yeah. All right. So that's enough of current event news type stuff. And yeah, good talk. But movies, you guys watch anything good? I haven't watched any new movies in a minute. Wade, I know you went to see something more recently than the rest of us.
Nah, the last thing I saw was Bad Boys
Bad Boys
for Life.
3.
That was too, yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I keep hearing that's way better than I thought it was gonna be, and I'm glad to hear that.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. I want to go see it, but I'm probably going to have to wait till it comes to Prime.
There you go.
I mean, I want to support Will and Martin, but you know, I do. I don't even know if it's still in the movie theater. You know what? I might go tomorrow.
Go ahead and depart.
Let's see. This is great.
Yeah, I think it's still in there, but I'm gonna check it out. What was the last thing I watched? Probably some anime movie. I can't think of the last thing I watched.
I do want to see Birds of Prey, but I heard it was kind of.
Well, it's sucking shit in the theaters right now as far as sales because the naming convention people didn't know what it was. It should have been called Harley Quinn from the beginning.
I think that's the only reason they tacked on like the Emancipation of Harley Quinn. I think that's the only reason they tacked that on.
That's literally why they did it, and they changed it to what Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey or something like that. But it's supposed to be tooling around and changing it, but yeah, a lot of people didn't know what it was. Plus the DC Cinematic Universe, they don't do a good job with movies and promoting stuff in certain ways. Why does that true? They had the part.
Yeah, it's in there. The reason this is the reason though I really don't go is because the movie starts so damn late. Like the movie doesn't start till 1:40. So it's like, you know, because I like to go see stuff early. Like I like to go see it in the morning, especially like on Sunday morning or something like that when everybody's doing other stuff. I like to go to the movies and stuff, but it starts at 1:40.
Yeah, it's an awkward time.
Yo, I just crafted this Savage Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm about to go there now. Hopefully get some type of god roll on it. How much stuff does it require? Is it like rare or? Hey Mark, you do that ready up thing so we can get out of here? Never mind, you got 10 seconds.
Yeah. Just hold up. Get to the chopper.
2 seconds.
Get to the chopper.
Oh no, I don't. It requires a bunch of stuff you already got.
I know that movie.
Okay.
Right,
wasn't
What? You didn't know that movie.
I was gonna say Total Recall.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
You son of a bitch.
What's that from? Kindergarten Cop? It's not a tumor. What's that from Batman? Yeah, as far as movies, I've been.
Oh, we said Total Recall. Wasn't that when he was like, "I want a divorce" when he shot that lady in the head?
Yeah.
I think that's from Total Recall. But we're married. I want a divorce. Wow. I'm telling you, man. Whoever wrote those '80s taglines, man, they need to bring them back. Those things are classic. Like they can't.
They are good and terrible.
They cannot be beat.
They'll never come back, you guys. Those days are over.
No. Let's see.
Ed Omari killed your joke.
What joke?
Your Plague Inc. joke in the chat.
Oh, what did he say?
He just said, "No, this is Johns Hopkins. The coronavirus tracker."
Oh, I know it's a coronavirus tracker, jackass.
Oh man. Right. And I guess so. As far as what we're playing, well, you know what we're playing is. What are you guys looking forward to coming out game wise? We'll talk about
Final Fantasy, Cyberpunk, Doom.
Right now for me.
Yeah, I kind of want Final Fantasy to hurry up. I'm really skeptic about buying a game that's supposed to be giving me the first part of a 4-disc game. Like, I don't know how long they're gonna drag this shit out, but I'm not here for the ride.
Are they doing the same thing that they was doing back in the day? Well, Back in the day, it was like what 3 or 4 discs long.
No, back in the day, they gave you the whole game at once.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
bullshit they're doing is here. Guess what you guys get to play? You actually get to see what class. And if we don't even get to see what Eris's last limiter is, I'm gonna be pissed.
So wait, are they releasing it as an expansion, or they really like the game, like part one's coming, like Act One's
like
coming
part
out?
one.
So,
I think it's
you can't even finish the game
Yeah,
unless
it's
you.
Escape
Oh
from
no, you
Midgar.
can't finish it.
No,
It's
it's like it's Escape from Midgar. So you pretty much play up to the point to where you are leaving the city.
But think about how long the original game was on that one disc. Like, that's a very long game.
They're gonna milk this shit out.
But even think about it. I'm pretty. Yeah, part of it's definitely a business decision for them to get more money. But as big as the game is going to be now, imagine if this is close to half the size of Final Fantasy 15 for that just one chapter and all the resources and stuff. That's going to be a massive game to go into hard.
Yeah, I did love Final Fantasy 15.
You know, it's going to be long. It's going to be a lot of games.
More of a 12.
I bet you it's probably going to be like a 20, 30-hour game. And that's pretty good for 60 hours for a single-player game. I'm not mad at it, if it turns out well. I think it should be good.
If it turns out well, yeah. And I mean, it should look good. I'm pretty certain it'll play fantastically.
Yeah,
it's just I don't like the marketing behind it, and not marketing. I don't like the scheme of it.
I get it. At the same time, I feel like I can't expect every RPG come out to be like Dragon Age. Dude, I put like 100 hours into Dragon Age Inquisition, like 100-something hours. You know,
that was a good game, though. That was a good game.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah.
I think what I do want to get is Ace Combat 7. Yeah.
I haven't played Ace Combat game in a long time, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie. I love Ace Combat. I don't think I've ever told y'all that, actually.
No, I didn't know you liked playing Ace Combat, actually.
Yeah, I actually do like Ace Combat, so I've been thinking about getting that, but I just got Spider-Man, so I'm gonna play around with that for the next, for whatever's, and see how that works. But,
I don't know. I did not like Spider-Man for some reason.
Oh, yo,
it's such a type of game, man.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't remember if I was talking about it with y'all or somebody else. But y'all know Division 2 is like $3 right now on PlayStation Store, right?
Yeah. Remember, that was going on the chat we were in yesterday. Dude was talking about it.
Yeah.
So me and my cousin looked up how much GameStop is taking your copy of Division 2 for, your physical. And it says right now they're giving you $3.30.
That's the first one.
Yeah, I told you that's what they're gonna do. But however, Ubisoft is doing a thing where you can get this special hunter outfit and a different mask if you get one of your friends to buy the game, make an account on the Uplay website or whatever, and then you have to play 3 campaigns with their friend or whatever, and they'll give you the new costume or whatever. It's a customized costume and shit. So
what?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fucking lie.
It's about to be a lot of fake accounts out here. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, I think you can only do it with like PlayStation, Xbox. You can't do it with PC or some shit. They said something like that.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm about to get.
I mean, this year passed.
All right.
Hella cheap.
I mean, where the fuck is my?
I guess I get to try this Savage Wolverine next time.
Well, I just want to try it because I just want to make a AR build with it. To be honest.
Right.
Looks like no matter what you get, close and personal is the top talent on it for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm about to make it. This is the 3rd time I made it, and it's probably gonna be the same thing. Let me see.
Well, I think Final Fantasy, Cyberpunk. There was something else coming out I cannot remember. There was a few games, but those are probably the 2 biggest ones. I do want to see what they're gonna do with Anthem as far as fixing it.
Yeah, I heard they're gonna It's like they're redoing Anthem, which would be pretty cool if they do, because the gameplay in Anthem was fantastic. All right, let's see.
Deuce.
Yeah, we'll see, because I enjoyed the point-to-point on the game. Like, that part of the game, the gameplay, the shooting and the flying, that was great.
Right.
The story, not great. The loot, trash. The in-game was disappointing, but it has a good bone, so they could do something with it. Hopefully they do. So,
Hopefully.
I don't know about you guys. It's longer than I expected, especially for a first episode. But I think
Yeah.
we can go ahead
This
and
is pretty much what we do.
wrap this one up. You know,
Yeah, we sit here and talk the whole time.
we're probably going to be a little more focused on stuff. But like you said, it's the first one, so we got a lot of cover, a lot to get through and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and so I'm stop recording now.
All right.
All right.